let's show you how you can build agents that use the new and more powerful GPT-5 model quickly and safely, all within Microsoft Copilot Studio right now. So I want to just take a second, first show you how you can do this, and then after explain maybe some of the nuances that you should be aware of. I'll be sure to have links to any Microsoft documentation around the different models, the pros and the cons, the announcements of when these are going to be truly generally available and ready for you to use. All of that stuff will be down in the description down below. So if you want to check the most recent documentation from Microsoft, you can do that right there. But nonetheless, let me go ahead and share. And here I am within Microsoft Copilot Studio. And I am in the process of creating a brand new agent. I've gone ahead and click create. Click configure here. And all I have in here is the name. And just for the sake of a simple example, I'm gonna go ahead and create my agent. So you can see here that this is completely new. I have not done anything previously to this agent. Now, let me give this a second to create. Oh, that actually went pretty fast. Nonetheless, here in these details or underneath this overview feature, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff regarding the name, the icon description, the knowledge sources, the instructions. And one thing in particular is going to be this agent's model. Okay. And as it's still kind of setting up here, once this is done setting up, you can actually change the agent's model to the model that you want. If you click on these three dots here and click edit, this is going to navigate you directly to the settings of your agent in the generative AI settings more specifically. And right here, you can see the model, and this allows you to select your agent's model. Now, right here, there are several in here. And as Copilot Studio continues to evolve and OpenAI continues to build more models, I'm sure it would be expected that those will continue to be added in here. But nonetheless, you can then go ahead and select the model that you want. It really is that simple. Now, one thing you'll notice is if you click on one of these experimental models is you'll get kind of a warning message. And all it's just saying is this, hey, this is new. I wouldn't necessarily, it hasn't been fully vetted yet. I wouldn't necessarily use it in a production instance, not necessarily recommended. I don't think there's anything that prohibits you from publishing these agents and doing it yourself if you would still choose to, but Microsoft at least still has that disclaimer in there for you. But nonetheless, this is how you update the model. That is done. Now, I want to take a second and just kind of explain the difference, in my understanding, the difference between these two models, GPT-5 Auto and GPT-5 Reasoning. And so what these are is, and I took a couple notes over here. Let me use my cheat sheet. Is GPT-5 Auto uses real-time routing to balance speed and depth. And what that means is it can maybe switch between a couple different areas of expertise within this model, as in if it should get you a really quick answer, if it should do some really deep research and take some more time to give you maybe a more correct or more thoughtful answer. And so that is what's going to be done with GPT-5 Auto. Now, if you want to turn off Auto, where, hey, every single time we want it to use deep reasoning, deep research, and prioritize that for the complex tasks, then you're going to want to use GPT-5 Reasoning. Now, just know that this is going to mean that things take longer for Copilot or your agent to respond because it's going to be doing this deep research, or it says here even itself maximum depth and accuracy for demanding tasks. If you wanted that, then you can select the GPT-5 Reasoning. I also just wanted to take a second and just kind of discuss what this means for cost considerations as well, because that is definitely very important. So there's nothing really that is publicly documented from Microsoft as far as how much more expensive these GPT-5 models will be over the GPT-4 models. And so if you're unaware, basically how it works is costs. Basically, each organization gets a number of consumption credits, and you can buy those consumption credits. And it's reasonable to assume that GPT-5, as I said, it's not publicly stated, but GPT-5 will consume more credits than GPT-4, it's not necessarily, documented anywhere as to exactly how much more, but it's reasonable to assume that it would consume more credits and thus inversely making it more expensive. As far as how much, I am unsure. If you know, be sure to let me know down in the comments down below. And I will say if you have further questions on this stuff, be sure to follow. There's a ton of stuff in the description. Be sure to follow the first link in the description. That's going to allow you to get in direct contact with me, book a meeting directly on my calendar for any help that you may need with your agent. With that being said, if you are trying to use your agent to search knowledge sources and really enhance some of these generative AI features, you're going to want to check out this video here as it walks you through everything you need to know on how to set up generative answer nodes correctly. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. My name is Griffin Lickfeld, the host of the Citizen Developer channel, and I'm excited to connect with you in the next one.